Alright guys, welcome back to another Godot live stream. I am your host Morgan Ozpin, and today we're going to be hopping back onto the Godot engine and do a fan voted stream today, wherein we will be making the shaders for my 3D assets in freaking Blender. Now, if you guys don't know, on our last stream we kind of struggled a little bit, or so I struggled a little bit to kind of figure out how to get this entire project up and running from Blender to Godot. Now, initially, what we did was we actually just imported the blend file straight away from freaking Blender to Godot. But I realized that there is something wrong when it came to loading our scene, especially when it comes to the time it takes for the scene to finish loading when I import a blend scene. So since I know that that'll be a little bit annoying for new players of my game, I wanted to kind of do something about that. So instead of importing the entire blend scene from Godot to Blender straight away, I am actually going to be, if you look down here under my file system, I will be freaking importing these assets one by one. And as you can see here, I already started off with importing the freaking pet character I made as, you know, the main character of my game, as well as some other stuff like the picnic table, the sunflower, and I don't know what this prototype is. Okay, it's thing here. I'm also imported the arcade machine, like so, the basketball, and some other stuff like the beanbag, and you know, all these other scenes over here. Now, initially, when I was importing these assets onto Godot, what I did was turn it into a .glb in freaking Blender, and here's how they initially looked when I first imported them into Godot. Let me just open up this. Okay, this is not a good example since this has a texture to it. How about the? Okay, so here's how the beanbag model looks after you know, messing with shaders. But here's how it looks before. It's a freaking white blob. And the reason why it's a white blob is because when importing the shaders from Blender to Godot, there are just some stuff in the Toon shaders of Blender that just can't be replicated with freaking Godot. Like, I mean, just look at this freaking node system right here. It looks simple at first, but then you notice that this entire node right here is a freaking node group, and you have all these other nodes that exist other than the principal BSDF, which I think is the only thing that could actually be translated one-to-one from Blender to Godot. We have a lot of bump maps here before we even reach the principal BSDF node, and after the principal BSDF node, we have a color ramp, a mixed color node, and a mission node. So basically, they're just shaders. This entire Toon shader is a shader stacked on top of another shader that's being manipulated by a freaking bump map. So, and the bump map, by the way, isn't, you know, just a normal bump map. It consists of a noise texture and a bump map converter that converts black and white textures into normal map data. And I don't think any of those things I just said exists in Godot. So we had to freaking, in Godot, we had to freaking reconstruct the shaders from the ground up just to get this sort of look that we're going for. It kind of matches with the Blender style that I've just made in Blender. And here's the result. You know, the arcade machine is like this, but then you also get this freaking sunflower texture. Now it's a little bit of some roughness when it comes to its what is it called? Its head, the head of the sunflower. And on the picnic table, we also get these little roughness to its surfaces. And I'll explain how I did this all in a bit here. But as you can see, this is just how the textures look in, how the shaders look now in Godot. And how I was able to do it is by using visual shaders. Now, I know a lot of people would say that, oh, Morgan, you should probably learn about the GSL language or the visual language of Godot, because, you know, all people who use Godot uses the GSL language. And to that, I say I am a victim of familiarity. As much as I want to try and learn about the visual shader language, I feel like it might take a while for me to get everything sorted out if I were to, you know, code my own shaders here. And I'm already familiar with how Blender sets up its node system, so I'm like, yo, Blender node system with those visual shader system, they seem like one-to-one to each other. If I can understand one, I can maybe understand the other. So I am doing everything in freaking visual shading right now, and I was able to set this up was through a freaking article made by Binbun called Toon shading. Sorry, Godot Toon shading. As you can see, this is how it looks. He has a good article here on how to set this up in freaking GSL, in the GSL language of Godot, or the GLSL. I don't know what's the right term for it, but anyway, all I did was I took all of his code in this language and turned it into the visual shader language of Godot, and as a result we got this thing set up in the light section of my freaking shader. So as you can see, a lot of this just boils down to messing around with the diffuse shader. All I did was get the dot product of the normal and the light, and get its maximal the maximum value from the dot product and 0, 0, 0. Multiply that by the attenuation, and what we get is multiply the attenuation, then put it under a step operation, and what we get is this sort of sick fade between the light and the dark areas. This quick transition from the light to the dark areas. Now, that would only work. This would only be all you need to do if the shader that you want to make is kind of like this, wherein the transition from the light to the dark areas is like is noticeable, is direct. It's like there's a clear boundary between the light and dark areas. But if you're gonna be working with things like, I don't know, this basketball, wherein it's going to be using it's going to be having this little like fade from the light to the dark and have this little noise texture in between here. I had to do something that's like outside of this article made by Binbun here, and that is by messing around with its freaking normal value in, hold on, by messing around with its normal value and its fragment shader. So as you can see here, I made like two versions of this Toon shader. One is for items like this, wherein I want the light and the dark areas to end abruptly with each other, and there's a clear boundary between each other. But then I also have this noisy Toon shader that I use for things like the beanbag or the basketball, wherein the boundary between the light and the dark areas isn't that clear, and there's this little noise texture to sort of fade the light and dark areas onto each other. And how I did that was by implementing this little oh, you don't need to know about this or this or okay, forget all of this. This is just for changing the color of my Toon shader. What you do need to kind of keep track of is this right here. A texture 2D connected to the normal map of my freaking material, and this texture 2D is displaying a texture 2D parameter, and under the texture 2D parameter I have turned this into a noise texture 2D with a fast noise light and a purlin noise with a frequency of, I don't know, you can set it up to whatever, it doesn't matter. I went for like the full-blown 2.8, I guess. And as you can see here, it kind of messed around with how the light areas behave along the surface of my basketball. So if I didn't implement this, what I get is just, you know, nothing. But if I add a freaking noise texture 2D here and a fast noise light and change up its frequency, we now have the fade that we're going for in our freaking Toon shader. So that's basically just the gist of how I was able to get this code running. Oh, and also, I guess I also need to explain what this is all about here when it comes to the color. All of this are just like color and texture 2D parameters, and I've made this like little switch here for, because not all of my freaking objects in my game consists of a texture that I want to use. Most of them are just like a plain color that I can just pick in a color wheel to have display as what I wanted to in the scene. So to make this this Toon shader much more adaptable to both my textured objects and my non-textured objects, I made a switch wherein if I want to use a texture, I just switch this on. If not, I can switch this off, and I can, you know, make my own freaking color out of this. But since I'm using a texture, I want to switch this back on. And if I don't like the look of my texture in the scene, because it's highly dependent on the light of the scene right here, I can kind of manipulate how it looks through this multiply and add operation I've created here. This multiplies the colors of my texture with a color I've assigned to the two color parameters here. So this one multiplies a color to my texture 2D, and this on adds a color to my texture 2D. But I don't want to mess with this right now because I'm very happy with how this looks so far, and I think that just ends how I made my textures, everyone. So I guess for the rest of the stream, we will be importing more assets into Blender. Maybe I'll show you guys how I did this all in real time, and maybe we'll make more Toon shaders, because I do kind of wanna. There's this one more thing I haven't tried here in this article, which is to add a rim light to my scene. So let's do that real quickly. Let's import a object here in Blender, and let's just start importing, guys. Okay, so the next first, what are all the things I've imported here, by the way? Okay, I imported an arcade machine, a basketball, a beanbag, a cactus, a cage, a cake, a car, a sunflower, and some yarn. Okay, let's go ahead and export hold on. So we can export the car painting, or the mouse painting. Let's export the mouse painting. So we go down here, file, export .glb, include selected objects. I don't want to export everything here. Transform, nada. Now good. Okay. I'll leave this all in the default settings, and let me just go down to, is it mouse project or mouse? There we go. GLTF files mouse project. Okay. I'm gonna call this the mouse painting .glb. Export that. All right. So it got exported. But again, if I were to left click and drag this here, that's not the folder. We go here, we go down to GLTF files, mouse project, background assets. These are all, by the way, the stuff we've already imported into Godot, but except this one though, of course. Okay, let's just export it here. The mouse painting. Okay. Okay, let's just see how this looks. Okay, that seems like the, oh, yep, there it is. Okay, close that. We'll make a new scene here. Make a 3D scene. Put it over here. The GLB file. Is it coming? Okay, there we go. Or is there like a little bit of a shine to it? Anyway, we're gonna make this a local scene. Put it up here, and I don't want to mess around with the mesh material here. We're gonna go to the system surface material override. Which, by the way, if I were to like to mess around with the with a material right here, it wouldn't do anything. And I could just, you know, extract the materials, but I feel like that would put too much space under my my file explorer. So instead, it'll be using system material override to create a shader material, then we go to the quick load here to create to export our use here. I think we can use the noisy. Now let's use the basic Toon shader for now. Okay, so on the Toon shader, disabled. Okay. There are also going to be times wherein if you were to export your model and import it into Godot, there will be some for some reason times wherein the faces are facing the wrong direction, resulting in this like backcalling method that would occur in your scene, wherein your faces would be transparent for no apparent reason. And I didn't know how to fix that, and the only thing that I could think of to fix that was to disable the call method here under modes of my shader. So if you ever have this face this flip faces issue, just go disable the culling method, I guess. Okay, by the way, let's just go down here. We're gonna change the color here to brown and the intensity to something like that, or I guess like that. There we go. And then that's the frame section done. And let's go back. Let's go to surface material override number 1 here to change the look of. Let's see. Quick load. Toon shader. Shader parameters, textures. Can we load a file here? Imports, background assets, mouse, turn this on. Good. Okay, something I've also noticed here is that I'm guessing the normal information of my scene kind of got translated well into Godot, because the texture file looks like. Hold on, it looks like. Can I view this? No. Yes, I can. But the texture file kind of looks like this right here on the side. It's a sprite sheet with a bunch of other stuff that I want to add for a mini game I want to make in Godot. But since this is a painting of one character, I set it up in Blender to a point where it will only sample the top left sprite on the sprite sheet here, which is mouse. As you can see here, it looks 1-to-1 to it. Anyway, let's go to here. Let's change the shadow intensity. And let me see. Process. And then under modes. Wait. geometry, visual instance, sorting, transform, visibility. Hold on. How do I turn this into a... It looks kind of blurry over here. How do I change it into a... like a face nearest or something? Or over here. Wait, is it here? Texture 2D. Qualifier, default color. Default nearest. There we go. What is the... What's it look like that? Wait, hold on. Can we add a color to this? Alright, this might mess around with my Toon shaders, I think. Alright, I don't like how it it looks like this. Why is it? Where are these colors coming from? I didn't make it like that. Oh god. Let's see, go in common, conditional. Maybe I'll just delete this and put it over here. Okay. Okay, something is wrong here. Let me use linear, nearest, linear, nearest map. What's this color? Black? Olive oil? None. Okay, it should be nearest, of course. And enable, no, default. Source. How about we okay, wait, I need to maybe make a duplicate of this. Okay, here we go. Add node. Can we vector 4 decompose? Okay, we get this, and I can't believe this will translate well here. Oh wait, no, this is not the... There we go. Okay, we'll make a vector for decompose. Okay. And a vector for compose. Okay. Y and Z. Okay. Now the alpha let's try a float constant first. I want to tell this stuff with a float constant. Nope, doesn't change anything. Okay. There's definitely a PNG. Let's do a vec float add, or let me search type add here. Oh, wait, I might be doing this in the wrong order. Let me do something real quick here. I'm gonna put this back here. I think I should do it before the multiply add function here. So vector for decompose and vector free, a vector for compose, create. We do this, attach this to here. It still doesn't give me data. Oh my god, it's still not giving me what I want here. Okay, before we do this, I just want to see if anything changed when it comes to... Ah, fuck. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh. I may have messed something with the shaders here. Hello? Oh wait, no, this is the wrong. Oops, 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 oops. There we go. Okay. I'm back to here. Oh god. We need to make a separate folder for this, maybe. Got the UV up in here. Let's see. Doesn't change anything. I might need to make a new mesh for this, I think. And a new texture for this, I think. Let's just open up Pixie Editor. We will make a new file for this. Let's see. Pixie Editor. Wait. Can we just make some drink some water here anyway? This, by the way, I just realized I don't know where this texture is from.
This is in this, but although this is not necessary, so put in your wallet.
Go. Alright, let me just make the BGM a little bit louder here. I just need to open the file, maybe. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'll make a new layer, put it down here, and we will make its background be a plain blue, like that. Export this as a PNG. Found the four paintings. Okay, so let's do this. Export it to here. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this. And I drag this here. There we go. Why does it look like that? Frick. Oh my god, why is it fucking... Why does it look... Why does it suck? Source. Screen. Nearest. None. Depth. Normal roughness. No. None. Qualifier. Transparent. Wait, does that have to do with my GPU? Hold on. Because I've been messing around with my GPU device. NVIDIA. Control panel. I swear to God this has nothing to do with the GPU. Yay. Because I remember messing something in here, I just forgot what it was. here, maybe. Okay. Alright, Godot, you need to freaking mess. Do something about this. What is this? What is this, Godot? Why is it happening? If I save it, hold on. I'm gonna save this under. Mouse painting. Alright, one last Hail Mary. Just as a little bit of a test. Make a node 2D here. And I export the, I don't know. Let's make a texture. Yeah, texture rect. And I'm going to import this mouse game spreadsheet here. Why does it have that? Oh my god. Let's see. Sprite sheet in Godot has color errors. Oh. Finally. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's put this back over here. Ah, that's how it works. Okay. I got it fixed. Let's go. Okay. So that's how I basically make my Toon shaders, guys. Oh my god, after so many trial and error. Okay, let's go back to the scene here. Alright, I'm gonna save this as itself. I'm gonna get rid of this, don't save. Okay. So I just messed around with the import settings. That was the reason why it was freaking compressed as frick. because of something with import settings, but we got fixed in the end. Let's go. Right, let's make another scene here. This time, let's export the car painting. Where is it? The car painting over here. Export this as a .gltf. Call it car. Thank God I freaking fixed that shit right away. And then let's go to here. Car painting. This is here. Okay, right. I don't know why it's down the floor over there. But I'm gonna put this here. Okay. 3D scene, car painting. This is the car painting, right? Yeah, I think so. I think I just need to mess around with the UV of this, I think. Let's see. Back in Godot. Make local. Down to here. Surface material override. Let's make a shader material for the painting. Let's make another shader for this. Turn this on. Load the load this. Open. Okay. And we'll make this unique because we'll be messing around with the UVs. And we just change the shadow intensity here to 0.145. Okay. Let's go down to what do we go down to? Go here. Let's go to vertex. UVs. Let's get the UV up in here. Let's get a multiply add on effect 2. Oh wait, wrong one. So I need to jump. Let me see. I don't remember where this is. I think I need to jump. See, 32, 64, 128. 256 plus 32. 56 plus 32. maybe 1 or 0.9. Okay, and then 0.3. Or 0.4. 0.4. Okay, so that's a blue TNT. 0.9. 0.9. Then, oh, I think it's negative 0.4. Is that how it works? Okay, wait. Can I get a compose here? Like back to let me drive up a little bit of the over to the side, then go down. There it is. Oh, it's only 0.2. Okay. Like over here. There we go. Yep, that's good. Good for me. Save this as car painting. Okay, and that's 2 items imported onto our scene. Let's make another thing here. How about the cat bed this time? Wait, how is this set up, by the way? Oh. Okay, wait. This could be good. Wait, hold on. How many items are here? 4. Export this as a VRM. No, not VRM. GLB under, call this the cat bed. Export. Okay. Oh wait, before we do stuff here, I want to go back to import spot assets, background assets, art painting. Is this in the? Nope, it's not in the center of the scene. Delete this. Okay. Then over here we change its transform to 0, 0, 0. Transfer its position. Great. Back to here. Under imports background assets. We'll import the cat bed. Okay. nice, nice. Okay, so put this over out here. Get your scene. 3D scene. The cat bed on it. And let's first make. Oh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to do. Okay, so first off, let's make the. Let's first make the blanket texture. I think it's easy to make. Make local. Put it up here. Surface material override. We'll change slot. This is slot 1. Yeah, slot 1 to a shader. Quick load. Noisy Toon shader dot trash. Yeah, noisy Toon shader dot trash. Turn this all the way up. This one, let's turn a texture. Let's get a noisy texture to the up in here. Noise, fast noise light. Let's increase the frequency of this. And also if we want to make some wrinkles to this, all we can do is just mess around with the I'll make that way, this way, I think. Yeah, there we go. It looks like this blanket is, has some crumples to it. We'll do the same thing to this other part of the blanket. The shader material, make it a noisy Toon shader, like so. Shader parameters. Turn this all the way to here. Create a noise texture. Over here, noise is this. Let's turn this into a, I don't know, Perlin noise maybe. Frequency, turn it up a little bit. Okay, and let's decrease the size of this to look like some color is being added. And then, oh, no. Okay. bit. Kind of like that. And the reason why it's purple is because the entire ground is purple, so it kind of gives a secondary color to it in a way. But let me just do that. I don't know if I can change any of the steps here that way. Oh, it is still attached to that. Okay, noisy Toon shader. What is this affecting again? Color intensity. Float constantly. Oh, that's for the pie. Okay. Oh, it goes here. Okay. But I don't think I need that right now. Change the seat of this a little bit. Gotta make the folds really obvious here. I just don't know how. Oh, there. Wait. Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, maybe I should not mess around with shadow. Maybe that will work. I'll save this as the cat bed. Okay, nice. Let's work on the frame of this, shall we? Let's get a quick load the noisy Toon shader. Like, do you guys notice that whenever I start importing some materials into here, it moves the bed slightly? I don't know why it's doing that. Is that like a glitch in the game engine or something? Okay, so this one is this. No, not that. This kind of brownish color like that. Let's add this texture up in here. Right on the back. No, here. There we go. Now where is this coming from? Oh, it's coming from over at this section here. And we might need to mess around with the UV, so I'm gonna get a vector 2 a multiply add over here, and see how this looks. Okay, let's go float constant here, float parameter maybe. I'll call this noise size, maybe. There we go. Okay, then one last thing is that's the wicker texture. I think let me just decrease the, yeah, then that. Okay, don't be too dramatic here. Shading material for the pillow, wake load, noisy Toon shader, use texture, and there we go. We got a little bit of a cat bed going on here. Let me save that. I'm gonna get rid of all of these materials. 0, 0, and 0. Delete. Okay. Okay. Alright, it's good for me. Let's make another material up in here. So yeah, this is just gonna be all just me importing my assets one by one. Let's see. Okay. Is this a wave texture that I'm using here, or is it? Okay, wait, move. Let's move this to the. Let's move this to the game engine. Call this cat tree. .gov. Scene here. Background assets. So yeah, this whole stream is just gonna be me importing all these assets one by one in Blender. I know this isn't really the most eventful stream, which is why I also kind of wanted to make this a music stream instead of a Godot asset stream when I was making the poll. Because at least when I make music, there is like an end product that feels much more satisfying than me just getting all my assets in place here. But if you guys want to see me make some Toon shaders, I guess this is how things should go. Anyway, I still want to try and make one more shader material here. So with that said, shader, no, not here. Let's make a quick load to the Toon shader. Or wait, should I go noise? Wait, quick load noise. Then enable this. Go to the cat tree, like so. Nah, I think we'll go with the fine, we'll do the noise, guys. Let's do the noise. Voice. Then under here we'll make our shadows. Okay, good for me. Let's make a shader material here with quick load, noisy Toon shader. Shader parameters. Right on here. Noise size. Texture. Noise texture. Save this as cat tree. Save. Okay. Okay, so that's one down. Oh wait, the chemistry shelf. Okay, here's where we might have to go a little bit more ham when it comes to the shaders. I'm gonna make a... first I'm gonna export this first. Export as a GLTF. Call this the chemistry shelf. So now we're dealing with glass. And I don't think I want to add a transparency, but more so like a shine maybe to these glass objects here. So we might have to add some rim lighting to this if we have to. So let's look at the chemistry shelf. Export it here. Okay. Let me just put this under the 0, 0 position. There we go. Okay, nice. I get all this over here. I still kind of like this this render I made of this flower in Godot. I mean, it kind of looks much nicer compared to the render I did here in Blender. Feels like it has more more roughness or texture to it when it comes to its head. Anyway, let's go back here to the 3D scene. We will be exporting the chemistry shelf like so. Put it over here. Right. Okay, so let's start off with getting the normal shaders out of the way. What are the... Okay, so that is the monkey, the chemistry wood, and the chemistry wood. That's 001. Okay. So slots 1 to 3 will edit. 1 to 3 will edit first. Let's see. Make local. Put this up here. There we go. This is the monkey. So we'll go to the surface material override. Shader material. Quick load. Oh no, no. Material, quick load, lazy Toon shader. 2 by 12. Okay, kind of like that much better. It looks like it's like made of wood or something. Anyway, we got that. Let's get away from the texture to the parameter. Number of steps. Get this up here. Number of steps. Like that, maybe. Okay. And then let's go here, shaded material, quick load to a noisy Toon shader. Wait a minute. So this is the only thing that's changed here. Alright, that. This one is another noisy Toon shader with, I don't know, what can we use? Color parameter, noise, texture. Do fast noise light. That already looks almost great. Let me just turn up there we go. And then make this like this color, and then okay, there we go. Okay, now time for making. Let's now make the shader for the glass, and to do that, let's go to our material override here. We'll make a duplicate of our basic Toon shader. this will consist of. I'll make this like this, then have the value of this. Now, first off, let's go and put some test steps into this. So we will go down to fragment here, or no, light. Go to light. All this has to be driven by light for some reason. Under, I think, let's see, this attenuation. Let me read the documentation real quickly here. Diffuse, light 5. Okay, attenuation, then instead of the steps, I replace it with round. Okay. Or wait, multiply. Attenuation, okay. Okay, so first off, we need to round it. Round. Okay. It's a vector free. And let's control D this. Multiply this by round light times 4. Okay. Make a parameter up in here. Doesn't really need the edge anymore, so we get rid of this. Nice. Let's move this up here and we divide this. With a float parameter. The default value of 1. Over here, then over here. That should not change anything, but if I were to change, that doesn't do anything. Why is that not doing anything? Light times light color divided by I. Okay. wait, is it round? Oh, I divide after. Okay. So, okay, it's here. And then over here. You do it over here. Attach this to here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, did it do the same thing for the other ones? Wait, let's see. The divide after rounding. Okay, I did. Number of steps. And I multiplied as well to the shadow intensity. Okay. I'm gonna rename this to, I don't know, steps, number of steps. Like so. We will call this chemistry shelf. And we're not done yet, because there is a shine, but I want also there to be some rim lighting. So, for rim light, we use the Fresnel effect. We write a separate function for it. Return effect free. Get the normal, get the viewport. Normal, effect free, normal. Float rim equals Fresnel. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna put all of this to one area here. Can I create a a frame? Do I have a frame here I can use? There we go. Okay. Can I title this to, I don't know. Okay, I can't seem to rename this for some reason. So instead what I'll do is maybe just make a float up in here. Float constant create. How do I make this freaking shader here? View direction. And we normalize the normal. Okay. So we need to normalize to normalize. Control D. that normalizes the view and the normal. I'm gonna duplicate this. Where's normal? There it is. Okay. We get the dot of this. Like so. We get the dot. Then we normalize dot normal. We normalize everything, and then minus. We compose vector free. Hey yo, what's up, Knight? I am making a Toon shader using visual shaders here. Compose. Okay, and this is 0 and 1. Okay. Here we go. And we get the clamp. Minus clamp. Okay, wait. 1.0 1.0 and we clamp this to here, I think. Wait. Wait, no, let's subtract. It's 1 minus clamp, okay. 1 minus the clamp. Let's see. Let's see how this looks like. I just want to see. Oh yeah, that's definitely the right way to do it. Okay, so now how do I attach everything together here? Okay. Float rim minus Fresnel. Okay, Fresnel is the float here. Okay. Fresnel, normal, and the view. Normal and the view. Okay. Then rim. Plus equals diffuse plus equals diffuse. Oh, wait. Oh, these are separate functions. Okay, so we just do it here, and then this one can be attached to here, right? Okay. And then do milk? What do you mean do milk? I don't have a asset here that's milk, so let's see, float, Fresnel, normal view, and then rem equals 0.7 and rim 0.7. Okay, we need to step this up, I guess. Let's make a step. And this step, okay, rim, I'll make a float parameter. I guess in this drives the, it changes to, I don't know, the specular, the rim light step, rim light intensity maybe. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. And then rim minus equals light times equals light. Okay. Rim equals, is that a wait? I can't see the shit right now. Okay, it is an equal sign. Equals steps 0.7 rim, and then you multiply it by the light. Okay. Plus equals to wait. Oh, okay, say up until the attenuation, do I plus equals? Oh, fuck. Okay, multiply this by multiply this by the product of this. I think this is where the starts to get a bit freaky, so multiply this to, oh god damn it. Okay, multiply this to here. That change anything? Not quite. Although it kinda now merges well with the rest of the bottle, I guess. Okay, and then specular light equals plus 3, vec free rem. And light color time. Okay, then we multiply this again. Full D. Multiply this again with add node light color. We get a division, divide. By pi. Or wait, the specular. Yeah, get the specular. And we add this with this, then that. Right, I'm fine with this. It is default color for my thing. Okay, I'm gonna save this as a shader. Call this the glass step shader. Okay. And now we can reuse this whenever we want. Let me just change the color maybe to that. That looks nice. I think I also messed something up with the diffuse, I think. Diffuse light plus equals diffuse. Yeah, I may have messed something up with the diffuse. Okay. Oh my god. Add. Doesn't seem to change anything. Oh well. At least I got this all sorted out, I guess. Okay, I'll save the scene. So last, I just save also. There we go. Is there anything else I can add here? Guess not. Alright. There's other section here about fake specular lighting. What is this? Specular light plus equals free rim light color. Specular light, okay. What is this? Oh my god. Float specular equals max dot normal light. So wait, what he did was free ramp. Okay. Oh boy, let's do this once more. Oh god, so look at how freaking big this freaking shader is right now. I guess that's the reason why people use the visual shader language instead of the visual shader language. Okay, so multiply the light color. What is it? Light color. Oh my god, oh my god. Let me just look at this code real quickly to see what I should do next here. Okay, so what I'm guessing is we need to get maybe get, let's go back here. Maybe get this once more, the dot of the normal and the light. Dot of the normal and the light. And the max dot normal light times attenuation. Okay. Where is the attenuation node? Multiply by, yeah. C, Control V, and we attach. Okay. Alright, let me just move these nodes closer together. Move them over to here somewhere. Okay. Over here. Put this up here. And let's see, specular, attenuation, we get the specular add this, and then this is the, what is oh my god, vector OP light color light 3.52. I think this is where it starts, I think. From light intensity step, yeah. Control C, Control V. Put this up here. Okay. Multiply this by the specular, I think. Was it specular? Back free, specular, okay. Specular, what's equal specular? Oh wait, no, that's not how it goes. Attenuation, and then we move this to light color. Oh my god, I'm lagging so hard right now. Oh, hello Simon, what's up? You kind of missed the financial freedom stream, and we are back to making some games in Godot right now. Sorry about that. Anyway, had fun with your game, but on our next gaming stream, I'll probably play Stumble Guys instead of financial freedom, because I've already finished it. So yeah. Light color, then divide this by pi. Whoop. Okay. Then we add Control C, Control V to this. Put this here. I guess we just attach this to here, I think. Oh, there we go. Looks too big. Max it to 0. Okay. Get a float curve. What do you think about the Freedom game? I mean, it has some financial advice that is good. So some financial advice is good, some are bad, but overall I kinda like the ideas presented in the game. I mean the advice kind of works in a case by case basis. Like for example, on one part of the game, they give you advice wherein in order to like to start, like, I don't know, like selling like selling stuff online. If you want to sell stuff online, the best way to do it, they say, according to the game, is to not buy all of the supplies you want to sell online first, but rather take pictures of it first. Then when you finally get the request for it if someone wants it online and they see the picture of it online, that's when you actually start buying the stuff that you wanna sell to the person. It's when someone directly tells you, "Hey, I want to buy this thing." Now, the only problem with that is if you were to is if for some reason the supply chain that you rely on to get all these stuff suddenly stop making the stuff that you're making, or it's not available anymore. So yeah, for those kinds of situations, I don't like that advice of taking pictures first to sell to your customers, then buying your supply later. But overall, I like the game. It gives you at least some general good financial advice for starting a business and stuff. Let me just hold on. Let me just change the specular light here. Ay, ay. Wait, specular max dots. Get the max of the dot, normal and light, and 0. Then you multiply it by the attenuation. Okay, and then we multiply this by the light color. Okay, light color, and divided by pi. Then we get the specular and add once more. Let me see. Okay, maybe I don't like how it looks right now. I need to change the step, I think. Let's see, step, number of light intensity. Oh, that changes only the rim. Rim times equals light. Ah, fuck this, I don't... Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all these loads. I don't think I like the rim lighting at all. Yeah, we'll just stick with this for now. And let's see, how long have I been streaming, by the way? 2 hours? Okay, we can still make more stuff here. Let's try to make it to the 3-hour mark for this stream. Let's be a bit more productive today. Alright, transform. Okay, there we go. Let's see. And let me just save the glass shader. Okay, so let's save it.
Where did it go? Where's my small?
So let's make all the other stuff here. The clock. Let's move this. Can you play the DJ thingy? What DJ thingy? What the frick are you talking about, bro? Let's call this clock. Do you mean the thing that DJs use to like go eek eek eek, you know? Wicka wicka wicka, you know? That thing? I don't know how to use that. You must be mistaking that for a digital audio workstation, which is the one I actually use to make my music. But that's not what a digital audio station looks like. It's much more placed in a computer. Oh, that's what you're talking about? Nah, I don't know. I don't know what's that. I don't know how to play that, bro. I can't be who's it called? Freaking Marshmallow on the DJ set. be here somewhere. Oh boy. There's so many things. Things to keep track of here. Let's see, where's the clock? Okay. Let's put the clock over here. Let's make local clock. Put it over here. Let's get a shader material and a quick load. Okay, this is the clock. We'll move this to down over here. Okay. shit, it's this computer now. Oh my god, so many materials. Okay, hold on. Let me export this. GLTF. Call this computer. see. Load imports background assets. This one. This thing works really well when there's not much happening. When the shadows don't really translate well if it's like, how do I say this? If it's like if it isn't shaded smoothly. Let's see, vertex. actually not bad. Okay, I'll leave it at that default for now. It looks 1:1 to exactly how it looks like in, uh, in Blender here. I'll be with a little bit of a tinge of purple because, in fact, the freaking scene is purple here. Alright, one more thing. This computer. Nice. I'm gonna move the computer to the center here. Okay. Alright, I think we have one more room to. Yeah, you have at least enough time to import one more material here. Let's see, get the couch. Or the crate. How many does the crate have? Oh, only one. Let's import the couch first. Okay, there we go. Let's get the shader material up in here. Get on the Toon shader. Transform 0, 0, 0. Okay. Alright. So we made this. Let's make the crate now. Export as GLTF. Let's call it crate. Alright, 0, 0, 0. Go for a noisy Toon shader for this one. Huh. This is a bad idea. Hold on. Is there a way to change up the... Sure, we can create gradient here. Oh, that's how to do it. Okay. Wait. Okay, kind of like this. Let's call this crate. Alright, there we go. And we just hit the freaking 3-hour mark. Anyway, we guys made a lot of good stuff here. I'm actually very proud of this chemistry shelf. The fact that we were able to get this rim lighting up with these glass tubes and flasks and beakers are great. And I also like the fact that we were able to get this sort of wood texture going on with by overriding the normals of our shaders. It's pretty sick. I'm very proud of this as well. And the sunflower, the picnic table, the pet's still bouncing here. I don't know what to do with this one. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. On our next stream, we'll probably not do a gaming stream just yet because I kind of wanna do another music stream with you guys just to show you how I make some of the music that I'll be making for this game. So if you guys want to tune into that, I'll probably try to stream that tomorrow. So that'll be it for today, guys. Now go read a freaking book. Bye bye.